General Hospital spoilers reveal that Trina's birthday is meant to be a celebration, but instead, it becomes the stage for a shocking revelation that will change her life forever. As she prepares to enjoy what should be a joyful and intimate occasion, an unexpected bombshell is dropped, one that turns her entire world upside down. Drew Kane, who has recently uncovered new information, steps forward with a truth so explosive that it sends shockwaves through the room. In a stunning turn of events, he announces that neither Marcus Taggert nor himself is Trina's biological father. The weight of those words hits Trina like a ton of bricks. She has spent her life believing that Taggert was her father, and even through previous doubts and complications, she always returns to the comfort of that belief. But now, with this revelation, every certainty she held about her past is shattered. Who has been keeping the truth from her? Why was this secret buried for so long? And most importantly, if neither Taggert nor Drew is her father, then who is? Confusion, anger, and heartbreak swirl inside her as she struggles to process the news. The people she once trusted may have been withholding the truth all along. The implications of this revelation stretch far beyond just Trina. If her real father has been hidden from her, then what else has been kept in the shadows? As she grapples with the unknown, the fear of betrayal creeps in, making her question everything and everyone around her. Meanwhile, those closest to Trina react with their own shock and disbelief. Taggert, who has raised her as his own and built an unshakable bond with her, is left reeling from the news. Does this change his role in her life? Will Trina still see him as her father, despite the biology that says otherwise? Portia, her mother, is visibly shaken, raising even more questions about just how much she knew and what secrets she might still be keeping. But the biggest mystery remains. Who is Trina's biological father? The revelation of this truth could send ripples through Port Charles, affecting not just Trina, but many others connected to the tangled web of deception. Could it be someone unexpected, someone powerful, or even someone dangerous? And why was this truth hidden from her for so long? As the night unfolds, Trina realizes that her birthday will forever be remembered, not for a celebration of life, but for the day she lost her sense of identity and stepped into a new reality filled with more questions than answers. And with every revelation, she gets closer to uncovering the truth that will change everything. But is she ready for what's coming next? Drew has seized complete control over Portia by uncovering and wielding a devastating secret, her role in falsifying Heather Weber's test results. This shocking revelation is more than just a bargaining chip. It is a weapon capable of tearing lives apart, and Drew is prepared to use it without hesitation. For years, Portia has carefully constructed a life built on calculated decisions, desperate to keep her darkest secrets buried. But now, the walls are closing in. With Drew holding the evidence of her deception, she is left powerless, forced to comply with his every demand or risk the catastrophic exposure of her past. But this is just the beginning. The truth about Trina's paternity has already sent shockwaves through Port Charles, leaving Trina struggling to comprehend her true identity. And while that revelation alone could upend lives, Drew has something even more destructive in mind. He is no longer satisfied with quietly manipulating events from the shadows. His sights are set on a larger target, Curtis Ashford and everyone he holds dear. Drew is operating with ruthless efficiency, and he will stop at nothing to dismantle Curtis's world piece by piece. With Portia under his thumb, she may have no choice but to assist in his dangerous game, whether out of fear or a desperate attempt to contain the damage. But the reality is grim. Portia may not be able to shield Curtis or Trina from the fallout. Every move Drew makes is calculated to inflict the maximum amount of devastation in the shortest time possible. Curtis, who has endured more heartbreak than most could bear, is now on the verge of losing everything. His family is crumbling, his trust is being shattered, and his sense of security is rapidly disappearing. The question is no longer if Drew will destroy him, but when and how. As tensions rise, the Ashford family faces an impossible challenge. How do you fight back against someone who holds all the power? Is there a way to stop Drew before he executes his plan in full? Or has the destruction of Curtis and his loved ones already been set in motion, unstoppable, inevitable, and absolute? One thing is certain, the storm is coming, and when it hits, no one will be left unscathed. A shocking revelation has surfaced, confirming the devastating mistakes Portia once made, errors that are now coming back with full force, threatening to destroy the carefully constructed life she has built. This is no longer just about past misdeeds. This is the moment where everything she tried to bury is clawing its way to the surface, demanding to be reckoned with. The weight of her past decisions is crashing into the present, setting off a chain reaction of chaos that she may not be able to contain. For years, Portia believed she had successfully covered her tracks, manipulating circumstances to ensure her secrets remained hidden. But secrets have a way of unraveling at the worst possible moments, and now, the cracks in her perfect facade are widening. The lies she once told, the truths she bent, and the manipulations she carefully orchestrated are all coming back in an unstoppable wave of destruction. This is not just a simple exposure. This is a full-scale reckoning, one that could dismantle not only her life but also the lives of those closest to her. At the heart of this storm lies the unsettling realization that her past is not just affecting her, it is reshaping the lives of everyone around her. With each revelation, the ground beneath her shakes a little more, making it clear that she is standing on unstable terrain. Every calculated decision she made to protect herself and those she loves is now being turned against her, and the cost of her actions is becoming painfully clear. And yet, the worst is still to come. The consequences of her past choices are no longer just whispers in the dark, they are thunderous truths that are shaking the foundation of everything she once believed was secure. Now, with new revelations on the horizon, the question is no longer whether Portia's world will collapse, but how devastating the impact will be when it does. This is not just a simple unraveling of lies, it is a calculated explosion that has been set in motion, a storm that has been building for far too long. Portia finds herself trapped, watching helplessly as the past merges with the present in the most unpredictable ways. The people she fought so hard to protect are the very ones who may suffer the most from the secrets she kept. And the most terrifying part? The full extent of the fallout has yet to be revealed. As the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, it becomes clear that the storm is far from over. With each moment that passes, the situation grows more volatile, and the consequences more irreversible. Portia is now at a crossroads, fight to regain control of a situation that is spiraling beyond her reach, or brace herself for the inevitable collapse of the life she once knew. But one thing is undeniable, once the truth is fully exposed, nothing will ever be the same again. The choices she made in the past are finally demanding justice, and the price may be far greater than she ever anticipated. A devastating revelation is about to send shockwaves through Trina and Kai's world, shaking them to their very core. What should have been a normal chapter in their lives has now transformed into a living nightmare, one that neither of them could have ever predicted. After weeks of growing closer, sharing moments of vulnerability, and developing what they believe to be an intense and undeniable connection, the unthinkable truth emerges: Trina and Kai are twins. This discovery isn't just shocking, it's earth-shattering. Every intimate moment they shared, every lingering glance, every whispered confession of love now feels like a cruel joke played on them by fate. The realization that they are biologically connected turns their passionate history into something horrifying, leaving them paralyzed with disgust, shame, and disbelief. Trina struggles to comprehend the weight of this truth. How could this happen? How could she have spent so much time with someone, felt so deeply for them, only to find out that they share the same blood? Every moment she once cherished now feels like a twisted nightmare she can never wake up from. She feels sick, haunted by memories she can no longer allow herself to remember with warmth or affection. Kai, too, is unraveling. The deep bond he thought was fate pulling them together was instead an unspeakable deception. His entire world feels like it's been flipped upside down, and the love he once believed was real now fills him with revulsion and regret. He's tormented by the thought that neither of them saw this coming, that they were both innocent in their ignorance, yet that innocence does nothing to erase the pain they now feel. But as they try to process this horrifying truth, the biggest question remains: who knew? Someone had to have hidden this from them. Someone out there knew that Trina and Kai were twins and deliberately kept it a secret. Was this a cover-up? A mistake? Or something far more sinister? Their entire lives have been a lie, and now they are left scrambling to understand who was behind this web of deceit. Portia, already tangled in her own history of deception, is forced to confront the damage that has been done. Did she know? Had she been hiding this truth to protect herself from the consequences? The guilt on her face is impossible to ignore, but the full truth has yet to be revealed. What role did she play in this nightmare? And if she wasn't the one keeping the secret, then who was? Meanwhile, their friends and family reel from the shock of the news. No one knows how to react, how to support Trina and Kai through something so unthinkable. The tension is suffocating, and the emotions are unbearable. Everyone is left questioning, how do you move on from something like this? For Trina and Kai, the pain is too raw to think about the future. How can they face each other again knowing what they now know? Can they even be in the same room without being haunted by the memories of what they once believed to be love? Every interaction, every touch, every moment between them is now tainted beyond repair. And then, the most terrifying realization of all sinks in, this is only the beginning. If such a crucial, life-altering truth was hidden from them for so long, what else has been kept in the dark? What other secrets are waiting to be exposed? This bombshell has already destroyed them, but the aftershocks of this revelation may bring even more devastation. The past has already taken so much from Trina and Kai, but as the full truth unravels, the damage might not even be over yet. There are still unanswered questions, still buried secrets waiting to surface. And by the time everything is revealed, there may be nothing left of the people they once were. Taggert's return to Port Charles couldn't come at a more pivotal time, as chaos erupts around Trina's life, threatening everything she thought she knew. What should have been a period of self-discovery and growth has turned into a nightmare of shocking revelations, manipulations, and hidden agendas. Now, with Drew tightening his grip on the situation, Taggert realizes that stepping back is no longer an option. His daughter is at risk, not just emotionally, but in ways he cannot yet fully comprehend. The time for waiting is over. He is here to reclaim his place and ensure that no one takes advantage of Trina ever again. Taggert has always been a pillar of strength in Trina's life, even when circumstances kept them apart. His love for her has never wavered, and now, as she faces one of the most painful revelations of her life, he refuses to let her go through it alone. The discovery of her true parentage has shaken her to her core, leaving her vulnerable to manipulation, deception, and emotional turmoil. Drew's growing presence in this already volatile situation is not something Taggert can ignore. He sees the warning signs, Drew's calculated moves, his relentless pursuit of control, and his unsettling ability to bend the truth to suit his narrative. Trina is standing at a dangerous crossroads, and Taggert is determined to make sure she doesn't fall victim to the chaos surrounding her. But Taggert knows that he cannot fight this battle alone. For the first time in a long time, Taggert and Curtis find themselves on the same side of a fight, despite their complicated history. There has always been tension between them, lingering resentments and unspoken words that neither has been willing to address. But now, with Trina caught in the middle of a dangerous game, they are forced to put aside their differences. Their shared goal is clear: protect Trina at all costs. Curtis, still navigating his own personal struggles, isn't fully sure where he stands with Taggert, but he knows one thing: Trina needs them both. No matter what, they cannot allow Drew to tighten his grip on her future. But this fragile alliance is riddled with challenges. Trust between them is shaky at best. Curtis still struggles with the knowledge that Trina is his daughter, while Taggert grapples with the reality that his role in her life may be shifting. And underneath it all, Drew is watching, waiting, and planning his next move. Drew is not a man who acts without purpose. Every step he has taken has been carefully plotted, each move designed to give him an upper hand. His actions are not simply about uncovering the truth. He has a much deeper, more sinister motivation at play. What does Drew really want? Power? Revenge? Or something far more dangerous? With his influence growing, Drew has begun methodically dismantling the people closest to Curtis. He isn't just targeting Trina. He is setting his sights on the entire Ashford family. One by one, he is picking them apart, exploiting weaknesses, and ensuring that when he finally strikes, there will be no one left standing in his way. His reach is longer than anyone suspects, and his ability to manipulate the truth makes him a threat unlike any they have faced before. Taggert and Curtis may believe they are preparing for battle, but they have no idea the storm that is about to be unleashed. For Trina, the return of Taggert is both a relief and a new source of stress. She has always felt safe with him, always known that he had her best interests at heart. But now, with so many truths being twisted and redefined, she finds herself wondering, who can she trust? Her identity has been shattered. The father she once believed was hers is no longer who she thought. The man who has been revealed as her biological father is still a stranger in many ways. And now, with Drew manipulating everything from the shadows, she is left feeling like a pawn in a game she never asked to play. And yet, the most terrifying realization of all is that this war is far from over. Drew's grip is tightening. The battle lines have been drawn. Taggert and Curtis are stepping up to protect Trina, but they are facing an enemy who is always one step ahead. As secrets continue to unravel and the stakes grow even higher, one question remains: will Taggert and Curtis be able to stop Drew before it's too late? Or has the destruction of Trina's world already begun, with consequences none of them are prepared to face? One thing is for certain: Port Charles is about to witness a war unlike any before. And when the final truth is revealed, no one will walk away unscathed.